Questions remain about the pace and transparency of delivery. Well, I've been speaking with Dr. David Sengeh, who's the Chief Minister of Sierra Leone. I began by asking him about whether trade agreements were being prioritized at this conference rather than aid pledges.
Absolutely. If you heard what President Ramaphosa of South Africa said today, is that Africa is not looking for aid, we're looking for partners. And President Faye and everybody who's been speaking, we're saying the point, there are opportunities, there are shared challenges in the world, but there are also immense opportunities where if we engage as partners, if we speak about investment, if we speak about unlocking the potential of young people, the power of digitization, everybody wins.
One of the interesting concepts I've heard coming out of the conference, and maybe it was proposed before, is the creation of an Indian Ocean Africa Economic Zone. For entrepreneurs back in Sierra Leone, should this become a reality, what difference would it make for them?
We have to understand that trade largely is global, and that the cost of production for certain things in China, in Japan, is going to be different for the cost of production in Sierra Leone or in Benin today. There are also other realities where the land that's available, the agriculture that's there, the mining, the minerals that we have, they don't have. There will always be trade, there will always be exchange, and we should be able to trade in ways that are fair and equitable. But it also allows for the soft skills. So if we're now not speaking about actual atoms, but we're talking about bits and how we can move electrons across, when we can engage in this way, we have lots of young people on the continent. 70% of our population is under 30, 60 to 70%.
The discussion around AI also really, a big talking point at this particular conference. I think Japan pledging to train 30,000 AI experts. How do you ensure that this training actually leads to real sustainable jobs, opportunities, and isn't, as some have feared, a chance for many to benefit from Africa's data almost for free? I
believe that the way we should think about these opportunities isn't that they're going to come extract Africa's data. It shouldn't also be that they should just come and use us to annotate data and label and paint and have somebody make the solutions. We should use this as an opportunity for us to code and for us to contribute to the applications of AI around the world. And frankly, we have been doing it in digital financial services. I believe that we will be able to do it as well in AI.
There are those of the perspective that African leaders should spend more time trying to figure out how to move the Africa free trade area forward, rather than spending so much crucial time at a lot of these Africa Plus One summits. You're at one right now. What's your sense of that more time could be spent trying to get Africa to leverage on its internal opportunities?
Look, I think these are not at opposite ends. We do need to focus on implementing these critical agreements that we have, like the AFCFTA. But we also need to engage multilaterally. Here at TICAD, a really important topic, from the UN Secretary General to Japan Prime Minister to all the African leaders, have been speaking about Africa's role at the UN Security Council and the reform of these multilateral financial institutions. These conversations are important, and they are important as well for how the AFCFTA is deployed. And a core component, particularly for the non-tariff barriers, is on digitization. So if we really want to see and break the barriers for how we can trade, for how we can ensure that if a good leaves Tanzania and goes to Cotonou and ends in Freetown, that we know their true value, we know how they progress in a really seamless way, then we have to embrace digitization.
That was Dr. David Sengeh, the Chief Minister of Sierra Leone. Well, you're watching